afternoon, and welcome to AIADA's AutoTalk. I'm your host, Rachel Soleimani. Before we get started, a few quick reminders. Anyone that is registered for today's program will be receiving a copy by the end of this week. And if you have any questions, feel free to enter them into the Q&A bar in the lower right-hand side of your interface. Now, please join me in welcoming Joel Furno, founder and CEO of Citrin. Citrin provides unparalleled valet, porter, and employee management services to auto dealers across the country. So Joel is a bit of a pro on this talent acquisition market area thing. So I am going to stop talking and let him take it away.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Great to have you today. And thank you for having us a part of the AIADA. It's been incredible to be a sponsor and an alliance partner over this past year. And we're really passionate about the industry. It's been great to our company. And hopefully we can provide some value to you today when it comes to improving not only the way you acquire talent in this new environment, but also how you retain your people. So a couple of things we're going to cover today. Is an overview of the labor market in its current environment today and the challenges dealers are facing in the talent acquisition and retention process. My expertise is in the entry-level support functions like cashiers, porters, valets, car wash, and we're going to talk about why those roles are important to support your dealership and what you can do to help find more to work for you as well as retain them. We're also going to talk about the impacts on revenue, profitability, and customer experience that being short-staffed has. And then we're going to open up behind the curtain and show you some of our strategies and secrets that we've developed over the last 15 years and what's made us successful in doing this in this space. So a little bit about me and our background at Citrin. I started the company in 2006 with $200 out of my bedroom going to college in Columbus, Ohio. We started off doing valet parking for high-end restaurants and hotels. In 2011, we got connected with the Germain family, and that their dealership became our first client in the automotive industry. And they asked us to help them better manage their valets, porters, and car wash team. And then in 2018, after learning the business for 7 years, we decided to fully commit to being a human capital company, providing services to the automotive industry almost exclusively. And so what we do is we partner with dealers to manage these critical support functions primarily for service departments, include customer greeting and intake when folks arrive to the service department, vehicle movement, making sure cars get back to the shop properly and quickly, making sure the lots are organized. We also manage car wash operations. And over the last 4 or 5 years, we've also helped dealers set up pickup and delivery programs to help go directly to the customer, picking their vehicle up and bringing it back to the dealership. Today, we have over 750 team members. We're partnered with and we're supporting 80 dealerships in 10 cities. And our clients range from everyone from folks with a single dealership all the way to working with some of the largest privately held and publicly traded auto groups in the country. And really, our service model has been successful from in every brand, from Kia to Ford to Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, and those. Something we're really proud of last year, out of all companies under 1,000 employees on Glassdoor, which is a website where employees review their employer, we were ranked number 6, and we maintain a 4.5 star rating as far as our employees' experience working for our company. So a little bit about the problem that we're seeing in the industry and things that you can do to protect yourself against it. So as mentioned, really for the first time in the history of the industry, it's literally easier to generate revenue than it is to hire and retain employees. It's projected over 40% of Americans will transition jobs this year. So taking strides to protect the team you have, also recognizing that there's an opportunity with people moving careers that they could find themselves in automotive. And we feel very strongly that automotive presents such an amazing career opportunity for so many people that this is a good, although it's a scary to think that 40% of people are leaving their jobs this year, it also creates a lot of opportunity being that there's so much mobility in the market right now. The hiring climate for the current job market when it comes to unskilled hourly support roles continues to be increasingly challenging. And although those roles aren't viewed primarily as revenue producing, not having a great team of valets and porters and car wash folks and cashiers and those lower level positions do place a significant amount of stress on the revenue producers, the advisors, technicians, and especially management. It's important that dealers keep in mind that you're not competing with other dealers for talent. You're competing with some of the largest organizations in the country, like Chick-fil-A, Amazon, Target, FedEx. All these companies are competing for the same unskilled employee base that the automotive industry has traditionally relied on. And they also have very sophisticated talent acquisition funnels where they can hire somebody within a day or two. Whereas we're seeing it takes the average dealer almost 3 weeks to hire somebody. So in this environment, taking 3 weeks to put somebody through the hiring process, especially lower down in an organization, makes it very difficult to convert applicants. And where the industry's losing folks to these other industries as a result of that. And obviously right now, dealers are enjoying really high gross profit on the new and used side, on the sales side. There's obviously concern about what's going to happen into our economy over the next year or two, but a strong fixed ops department will carry and continues to carry dealerships through any economic cycle. And it's important that those departments are resourced properly and staffed properly with high functioning teams to maximize its earning potential and how customers are treated and all of those things. A couple areas and operational impacts that we see when dealers are understaffed. Again, everyone understands it's important to have a shop full of technicians and have enough advisors. Again, we're focusing on the unskilled roles that can kind of be missed sometimes in their importance because they're not viewed as revenue producing. So the issues we see and have seen over the last 10, 11 years since we've been working with auto dealers when they're understaffed, inconsistent customer greeting and intake process, which immediately impacts CSI and gross per RO. If you think about pulling into a dealership, into a service department, and a customer pulls in and the service drive's backed up, they get out of their car, nobody even interacts with them for 30 seconds or a minute, that can immediately impact that person's willingness to spend more money or say yes to additional service that they need for their vehicle. So simply by managing and making sure that there's a seamless experience when they pull in is really important, and we have seen that really impact CSI and gross per RO. Again, poor vehicle staging and queuing in the service drive affects both not the customer experience and also shop throughput. It makes it more stressful on the advisors. It gives them less time to spend with the customer, and also every minute it takes to get a car back to the shop and to the technicians is more time the customers spend waiting for their vehicle return. As mentioned, the added stress on advisors when you don't have a stable team managing these functions, it reduces their overall ability to spend time with their customer and take them through the progression of their upsells. Unorganized parking lots and reduces tech productivity, increases customer wait times. And really, who's picking up the slack when there's nobody there to manage these basic functions? It's really the advisors, it's the technicians. I don't know how many service directors I've talked to who have to jump out in the service drive, 30 minutes, an hour, a couple hours a day just to make sure that their lane isn't getting backed up and to support their team. So that turns them away from their core job functions. It makes it really difficult to hold people accountable for follow-ups and taking them through the sales process. And not having a strong team there is certainly impacting revenue and that overall customer experience. So what are some things that dealers can do to improve the hiring and retention? And at the end of the day, if the only thing you take away from this conversation today is this, really at the end of the day, to compete in this labor climate, dealers must place the same emphasis on employee acquisition and retention as they traditionally have on acquiring customers. I feel like dealers are some of the most creative entrepreneurs and master marketers and advertisers in the world. And in this climate, to be able to compete for labor takes applying some of that same logic of getting customers in your door to convert employees. So things to think about as you guys are building your career pages and posting ads out there is, why should somebody work for you? What are the benefits of working for your dealership? I bet so many dealers offer amazing benefits, but they don't talk about it in their job ads. It's important to have a branded career page and recruitment videos. We found to be very helpful to help get people excited about working at a dealership. It doesn't have to be much, but just simply interviewing your team on camera about why they like working for you and making it personal and connecting to the people that you're advertising to on potential employees is really important. What's the experience like for the employee to apply for a job? Is it an easy experience for them online? Are they able to quickly apply for the job that you posted? It's really easy to apply for other jobs, so it has to be seamless for people to apply. Managing your paid spend on job boards is really critical. Just simply throwing job ads out there and hoping people apply or they get looks in the midst of a lot of competition is really challenging. So if you're not getting applications, you're probably not spending enough on paid ads for job boards like Indeed, which is a great place to find people, again, if you're utilizing it properly. Another thing is how quickly is somebody responding when somebody applies for a job. We've seen applicants need to be treated like sales leads, and they do not age well. So if somebody applies for the job and wants to work for you, and you don't get back to them the same day or within a day or two, odds are they've applied for 4 or 5 other jobs, and those other employers are reaching out to them quickly to try to get them into their doors. So making sure that there's somebody there quickly responding to applicants is huge. And this can't all just fall on your department managers. Service managers, service directors, GMs, GSMs need support. And so regardless of the size of your auto dealer, having dedicated resources, helping at least aggregate applications and respond and get interviews scheduled with your team is a huge asset for them. Monitor time to hire and ensure applicants move quickly through the hiring process once an offer is made. We hear a lot of guys and gals that we talk to say, our time to hire is up to 3 weeks. And, I found a great applicant that I love and we want to move forward with an advisor or one of these roles. And it takes my HR department 2 or 3 weeks to process them. So we see large auto groups who do have dedicated HR resources. We're seeing the time to hire needs to be shrunk. And we're also encouraging smaller dealerships who don't have resources. They might have a faster time to hire, but providing additional resources to help support them is really important. Next up is wages are a big thing, especially the lower down you go in an organization. So it's really important to ensure wages are competitive against other dealers and other employers that are competing against you to hire these entry-level workers. And they're also escalating more rapidly than we've ever seen. So our company actually monitors this monthly in every market that we're in to see how fast wages are moving. And we've noticed time and time again, as soon as it could be a month or two, if we fall short by $1 an hour, our turnover rate goes up, our ability to drive applications and convert hires decreases immediately. So monitoring wages, not just for how you advertise them to prospective employees, but making sure you're keeping up with wages for your own team is really, really important. It's never been like this before, but we've seen some markets go up $3 an hour. Some folks have gone from $13 an hour to $16 an hour in 1 year. So historic escalations in wages, I believe the stat was 28% over the last year or two for hourly employees. Certainly, we see a lot of folks not advertising their wage on their job ad. We think that's really important. So the tactic we've deployed is we always post the actual wage. We feel like this labor demographic and this generation wants transparency. They want to know what they're applying for and what they can expect out of that. So we really encourage folks to advertise the wage, and we feel like that's a nice little trick or hack, especially when you're paying at or above market. That will help you drive applications. Next up, developing an onboard process that helps establish immediate connection with the employee. So acquiring team members, driving applications, getting them in for an interview is just one half the battle. Once you get somebody to say yes to working for you, you really have to be thoughtful about what's their onboarding experience like. Do we take them through, formal orientation? Do we discuss job responsibilities? Do we give them a quick history on who they're working for? And also discuss progressions. We found that to be incredibly helpful to this demographic, especially is talk to them early, from day one about their advancement opportunity with your dealership. So many great service directors I've met and fixed ops directors and GMs running stores start off their career as porters and car wash folks on the very front lines. And we feel like it's one of the last industries that exists where you can show up and work really hard at the bottom of the dealership. And if you work hard, and you do things the right way, you're going to climb an organization to where you can earn an amazing living for your family. So talking about the why should people care about showing up every day and greeting customers or moving cars or washing cars? It's because they have an opportunity to grow with you. So that first week experience is critical. Even our company, with everything we do and the fact that we spent 15 years trying to figure out how to hire and motivate and retain hourly team members, we still see a 25% drop off between offer being accepted and getting that person through their first week of training. And if somebody's never worked at a dealership before, it can be very overwhelming. So it's really important there's some thought that's put into what's our process to get folks through their first couple of weeks working for us, and how do we build a personal relationship with them so they have that connection. We can't throw new folks out into the service drive on their first day and feed them to the wolves, and making sure that they're protected during that process. So onboarding, once you have somebody in the queue, and once you've made a job offer and they've accepted it, making sure that they have a great onboarding experience is really important. This first week and first month are really critical. And then finally, how healthy is your workplace culture? How are these people treated? We really believe that, and we are seeing a shift, but it's important that everyone is committed to shifting how people are treated, especially those folks in entry-level positions, if they want to retain a productive workforce. To deliver great service to our customers, we have to make sure we're delivering great service to our people. And the most important question you can ask as a leader is, how are you doing? Checking with your team for 3 to 5 minutes. We know it's super busy. It's stressful out there. Customers seem to be less patient than even before COVID. But it's important that we can't lose sight of pulling people into our offices, going out to the service drive, talking to our people, and just asking how they're doing, making sure they're doing okay. We also think it's important to protect them from customers. It should never be acceptable for a customer to scream or belittle one of our team members. And leaders have to be willing to protect people, because with this younger generation coming up, they're sensitive kids. And we can laugh about that. We can make fun of this generation for how soft they are. But at the end of the day, if they have one bad day and somebody's permitted to scream at them, whether it's another employee or if it's a customer, they'll leave and you'll never hear from them again. So it's really important that we're protecting this generation coming up. And at the end of the day, with how easy it is for them to find another job, this entering workforce will not tolerate that toxic environments. And then the final thing is it's very difficult in the automotive retail industry with being open 6 days a week and the hours that a lot of you carry, but seek to maintain flexibility with scheduling for people. We've had some talks with auto dealers who are exploring a 5-day work week. It's so interesting to me because a lot of dealers are open 6 or 7 days a week out of fear of missing out, FOMO, right? Of missing out on customers when their competitors are open. It's almost the reverse of that. You actually can be more competitive and attract more people if you have less hours and you are maintaining the 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now that could trigger some people. It's very contrary to the norm right now, but those are the type of conversations and discussions that need to be had as more and more non-retail companies are permitting people to work from home. And talent acquisition, again, is so important of not only making your job more attractive than other dealers or other retail environments, but also retaining the people that you have. So yeah, that's some of the things that we do internally as a business to help support our dealers, and hopefully some of those tips and tricks that we've developed over the last 15 years, being singular in our focus and trying to solve this one problem of maintaining a stable workforce of hourly employees doing the very basic hard work that goes on in between the lines at a dealership. So with that, I'd love to open up to some Q&A. And if I can be a resource or helpful in any way, don't hold back. Happy to answer any questions that you guys have as it relates to your talent acquisition process or overall developing your culture and innovating how you operate in this new environment.
And we did have some questions come in, so I'll read the first one for you, Joel. It says, what, if any, is Citrin's role after someone is hired?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. So in relation to our service model, we actually are a fully managed solution for our clients. So we come in and actually manage that entire part of their business for them. And we place an on-site leader that quarterbacks the operation. They're the quarterback on the service drive, and they're responsible for training the Citrin team members, communicating with our clients' managers and service managers. We're also very consultative when it comes to developing better processes for that customer intake as well as the lot organization. So we've actually created a fully, you can call it, we hate the word outsourced, but a full partnership where we're responsible for fully manage that entire part of the business. Our larger vision over the next 10 years is to be a comprehensive human capital company for auto dealers, where we can do more direct placement, where we'd actually hire the person and they'd work directly for you. But our current niche is to really own the service drive processes, from customer intake to car wash to loaner cars to pick up drop off services, and really manage that as a, you could look at it as the fourth department within a dealership, is really managing that porter team. So that's our core business model currently in today's form.
And then we had another question come in, and this will be our last one. And again, after this, you guys can send them to Joel or myself. So Joel, the last question is, how are people handling offering sign-on bonuses to new employees in regards to taking care of current employees?
Lance, that's a great question. We've just rolled out signing bonuses for certain markets that were struggling with applications. In a couple markets we've tested in, it's been very effective and actually driven a higher conversion of applicants to hires, as well as increased our overall application volume. In other markets, it wasn't as effective, but it's a lever we'll deploy when we need to. We haven't seen it impact the other team members that work for our company. I don't think we've received a single complaint about that. But it's a really interesting thought. It had never crossed my mind that that could offend current employees. Hopefully, our current employees are happy with where they're at. We're able to make sure they're taken care of. They're in line for career progression, and they're not as worried about the fact that new teamers coming in are getting a bonus. I would say there's nothing more stressful for them than being understaffed. So if signing bonuses helped get their location to full staff, we haven't had a problem with that. They're grateful that we're finding more people, so they're not left shorthanded. But that's a great question.
It is. It's a really good question. And Joel, thanks again for coming on, and for Citrin to being an AIADA Affinity Partner. You will be receiving a copy of this webinar by the end of this week. To those on the line, join us back here on Tuesday, June 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern as Cox discusses maximizing content to drive consumer decisions. So be on the lookout for promotions on how to register. For more information about AIADA, visit aiada.org. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day, everyone.